Like everyone is usually pretty good at dealing with people who are just like you. So if you are an introvert and you are a technician, you are probably halfway decent at dealing with other people who are introverts and who are technicians. That's probably not much of a challenge for you. But let's say you're thrown together with someone who's the opposite of you. Let's say that you're thrown together with an advertising executive. How well would you do with them? Would you be buddy-buddy? Would you always agree? Would you work together really well? I'm guessing not, because they're not like you. They don't have the same background. You're a technician. They work in advertising. They might have a different personality. You're an introvert. They're an extrovert. They place value on different things than you do. You've had different experiences from them. So the thing is, great leaders, you have to be able to interact with every type of person. That's the real stumbling block. Even if you're a great person naturally, you tend to have a knack with people. They tend to like you when they first meet you. But you have different work styles, different collaboration styles, different expectations, different ideas of what's reasonable, things like this, right? That's where the experience comes in. If you've never worked with those type of people before, that's where your eyes are really open. You see first of all, you don't close your mind to it, but you see let me explain. That's what happened to me. I had to work with outside salespeople at a certain point in my career. And I hated it because these people, you sent them an email or something saying I need you guys to come in for a meeting here or something. They would never come. They would some of them would come in late. Some of them wouldn't come in at all. They weren't bad employees. They were great employees. They made a lot of money for the company and they'd been there a while. And it wasn't like a lack of respect. It's that the nature of their work, you're always traveling. You're always arranging appointments. Things happen. You're late, your flight's delayed, whatever. Something comes up. Some emergency happens. You got to deal with something else. And so different way of regarding punctuality, right? And things like this. They didn't think it was a big a deal, because in their line of work, it's not possible to be 100% punctual all the time. You've got to be on call. You've got to be accommodating. It just doesn't work. And after a while, the bottom line is that I saw that they're quite a bit different from me. But here's where they kick ass in a situation that I don't do that well in. And then something clicked and I go, oh, now I've got a respect for them. Because I tried that and I didn't do nearly as well, but they knocked it out of the park. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm willing to listen. Now I'm willing to learn. And then you realize that people are awesome, but at different things and in different ways. And you can't just simply impose your expectations and your style of doing everything on every other type of person. It doesn't work that way. Just because they're different than you doesn't mean that yours is always the best just because you're in charge or something. So it starts with that. And then your mind is open to okay, there's different ways of doing things. Maybe some of them work better in different situations than what I would do, So you have to be able to get along with every type of person and be able to motivate them and be able to communicate with them and collaborate with them. And that's where you see some of the real problems in leadership. If you are managing a cross-functional team, you're a technician, you came up through the ranks, but you're managing technicians and accountants and salespeople and customer service people and HR people. Yeah, sure, you could relate to the technicians. You got to be able to relate to all of them. That's not easy. And most people are terrible at this and they shy away from it. And I'm not saying I'm great because I'm not. I still have a lot to learn. If you want to talk about leadership, those are some of the real skills. So how do you develop that? Well, in my experience, you develop it through experience by being thrown together with different types of people. I've never seen that kind of stuff being taught in a classroom. You always have to sort of be thrown into real life situations to really appreciate that aspect of it. And that's what makes you so good at managing cross-functional teams and things, is because you've done it and you understand that people are different and you've seen enough to know what you might have to do to adapt to them. Anyway, hopefully that I don't know, that you didn't ask necessarily about that. I went off on a tangent, but hopefully it was somewhat useful.